Worthington there, my name is Lave, and this week I watched Mel Gibson's new World War II film, Hacksaw Ridge. Now, whatever you think of Mel Gibson, I know he's done and said some pretty stupid things in the past, but it's pretty clear that he's on a good comeback at the moment. I really liked him in Bloodfather, which was released last year, and I was really keen to see if he's still got it as a director. Obviously, he's directed some amazing films like Braveheart and Apocalypto, and I'm very pleased to say that he has created a very, very good war film here. So Hacksaw Ridge tells the true story of Desmond Doss, played by Andrew Garfield, who is a devout Christian but also feels like he has to do his duty and enlist in the army. Because of his faith and certain events that have happened in his past, which the film does explore, he wants to sign up as a medic. He wants to go out there and save lives as opposed to take lives, which means he doesn't want to use a weapon, so he doesn't take part in any of the training which involves using a rifle. And this obviously doesn't go down with his other recruits and his superiors, who try to kick him out of the army on the grounds of disobeying orders because he just won't hold a rifle. They even go as far as trying to get him court-martialed, but then he wins the right to go to war, and then he shows his true colours, and oh my god, he's a heroic bastard. So Andrew Garfield is on a great run of form at the moment. I thought he was excellent in Martin Scorsese's film Silence. The only criticism I had really in that was his accent, and similarly in this, I was a bit like about his accent, but through some archive footage you get to see what the real Desmond Doss looked like and sounded like, and I've got to say, it was pretty spot on. I thought they explored his character really well. You really get to see why he is like he is and why he won't pick up a weapon. You get to see him as a kid playing around with his older brother who also signs up, but he's also supported by a terrific performance from Hugo Weaving as his father, who's suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder from World War I, so is now a bit of a drunk. The only character that sort of brought me out of the film was Vince Vaughn's character, and that's purely because it was Vince Vaughn, but I've got to say, as the film progressed, I actually quite liked him too. Sam Worthington also puts in a surprisingly decent performance as their overall commander, and I also really liked the majority of the company. Sometimes they did come across as a bit cliche, but overall I think it works. And that's how I feel about the film as a whole. Sometimes it does feel a bit cliched, even though it is a true story, but in the first act when he meets his wife and falls in love, it does feel a little bit sappy. Teresa Palmer, who plays his fiance, even says at one point that's very corny, but overall it serves to get you invested in those characters, and overall it did work. And then when he gets to boot camp and goes through the training, you can definitely see and sense and feel all of the other war films that have gone before it, like A Full Metal Jacket and Saving Private Ryan for sure. Even the bits of war that you see in Forrest Gump, tonally it felt very similar to that. I'd even include Band of Brothers in that list as well, and even though it does feel a bit cliched at times, they do it really, really well. But I would definitely say it felt like I got to know the characters before we got into the second and third explosive acts. Honestly, the horrors of war are on display here, and Mel Gibson is an excellent director. He's executed the war scenes brilliantly. It's scary stuff, but there were a few occasions where I thought Gibson relied on slow motion just a little bit too much, but overall it was very, very effective. I would say out of the last hour and 20 minutes of this film, I think about 45 minutes is just all out war. It does have some respite at night when Andrew Garfield's character has a nightmare, and he also has a couple of really good moments with some of his squad members who were a bit bullyish at first and thought of him as a coward, but then realised how heroic this guy is. And it was only when the credits rolled that I felt like I could take a breath. It was like, whoa, that was intense. So that's my thoughts on Hacksaw Ridge, and pause the video if you want to take a closer look at my enjoyment tracker now. Mel Gibson has directed a very, very good war film here. I don't think it's my favourite Mel Gibson film, and I don't think it's my favourite war film, but it's definitely right up there, and I wouldn't be surprised if Andrew Garfield gets nominated for an Oscar. He could easily get nominated for an Oscar for this or for Silence. He's on a really good run at the moment. So have you seen Hacksaw Ridge? I know it's been out in America and Australia for a while already, but we've only just got it over here in the UK, which sucks, I know. But if you have seen it, let me know what you thought in the comments, and if you like this video, please give it a like, and don't forget to share the lave.
subscribe.